you sweeping floors?
Mhm.
Are you a garbage man? Are you these things that earn a respectable income, but they're not top tier? If
Mm.
the answer is no, then either you need to move up the ranks or you have to come down in what you want in the ranks. And I find that to be difficult for a lot of men and maybe women to grasp that maybe what they want isn't as realistic as they may
Mm.
think. Have you had those conversations with the women that you deal with?
So I specifically work with women who are that level, like they are smashing it, like they're like five, six, seven figures. But I have seen, I don't know if you watch the Kendra show, Kendra G show. See, I used to watch it religiously, but then my sleep mate, because it comes on like 2 a.m. for us, I'm like, I can't keep this up. But I've seen on there a lot exactly what you're talking about. And anytime Kendra confronts them, like particularly the women, um, sometimes men as well. Like I know there are some men that come on that are like, I want a woman that has no kids, and he's got seven kids, and Kendra's like, what? Like, why are you gonna be, something that she's gonna go for? And same with women, there's this obsession with this six-figure thing, and I think I get it if you're there. I get it if you're there. That makes sense because there's a lifestyle you're already accommodated to. But if you're not there and there's no pathway to getting there, it's not like you've got a business and you know you're going to fast track yourself there or eventually get there, then it doesn't make any sense to me that where someone would want that. But I know that there are women that have a certain dynamic, I guess, that they have in their head where they want to be kept women. Um, which is fine. But it's just interesting. I think for those kind of women, it's a different ball game. And the question is, what else are you bringing? Not just that money is everything, but what other kind of value do you bring in? Does it measure up to what you're looking for as well? Is it going to be an attraction? Is it a match?
What are some of the things that your clients hold as valuable in a man?
Right. So they are, for the most part, I think copy paste want the same kind of man. So someone who is on their level or above. And that's not from a superficial standpoint. Again, lifestyle is important. They all have very specific lifestyles just due to the nature of how good their businesses are going. So they will have an entire team. Perhaps they do have to fly out of the country to do face-to-face seminars, etc. So they would want someone who if they had a trip, for example, to London to see me, which would be great, then they'd want someone to come along and finances wouldn't be an issue, right? Also, they want someone who is ready for commitment, not someone who's got, I don't know if you've heard of Peter Pan syndrome. It's not a real psychological syndrome, but it is something that we've kind of named for men who don't want to grow up. And sometimes it's really obvious, like as obvious as they really look like a child. And sometimes it's very, very subtle. And it's just a case of someone in, for example, their mid 40s still talking about how they don't want to catch feelings, and they're still running away from commitment. And they're saying they want a family and they want this, and it's like that, but their actions aren't matching, and then yeah, all that crazy kind of stuff. Um, so commitment ready. Another thing that all of them say is someone who sees that their success is an asset. It's actually a good thing. It means that you could be co-pilots and a power couple together rather than something to be intimidated by. So that's something that comes up a lot. And oh, I would love to talk about that actually. I'd love to get your point of view. And what else? I feel like those are the
Oh,
key
you can
ones.
ask me questions. Ask
Yeah.
away.
See, Noah, I didn't. I was like, I know this is your show, so I don't want to interrogate you in case it's like, wait, who's the interviewer here? So
Oh,
yeah,
we
okay.
got
So
time for the interrogation. No, we got time.
perfect, perfect. So please let's talk about this because it comes up so much, and I have my way of obviously teaching them like, right, this is how you kind of get out of that, not get out of it, but kind of master that answer where you're not disempowering yourself by saying, oh, it's not that much money because it is that much money and you have done really well. So own it. Um, so I teach them how to do that. And the way I do it is basically saying, like, yes, the success has come from this. Like, this is why I started my business. Like, talk about your North Star, like, show that this is for a reason. It's not all just a superficial thing. Like, everyone would have started their business because of this one thing that they had to transform, and then talk about how that not only benefits your immediate life, but your community, your friends, and how, you know, the money you earn maybe helps a NGO maybe that you support, or your mother who can't support herself, something like that. And I was like, yeah, just de-villainize the money part if that's something that's bringing tension. And then, you know, you're going to be seen as, oh, okay, it's just money's just an energy to her, like she just uses it to do good and continues and repeats and rinses and repeats. So that's what I teach. I'm just like, well, you may get those questions, you may get men who are a bit intimidated by it, but just turn it around, turn the energy around. So what about, so do you think, no, what's my question? I'm just gonna, actually, no, I won't even have a question. I'll just open a discussion point. Women who earn more, or women who are like 5, 6, 7, 8 figures, how do men view them? Are they dateable, in your opinion?
I think a lot of men are intimidated by it. To be honest, many men are, they don't care about the income because they will feel that we don't get access to it. So for example, if I'm going to use you as an example, right? So if you earn 100,000, I earn 80,000, it's likely that you're not going to be the one giving me flowers and buying me dinners and things like that. I'm going to do, right? I'm generalizing here, but a lot of men would lead that way. But what I do find is that the men who don't have access to resources are a little bit intimidated by the women who have access to resources. So, for example, the higher earner usually is the one that if they go places, they're more recognizable.
Okay.
Right? Their career probably demands more. So there was a friend I had. He and his girlfriend at the time, I'll give an example for this. They both worked jobs that were probably minimum wage jobs. So they're both earning about 40,000, right? Now, they both went to university, but they both dropped out at the same time. It wasn't for them. She ended up working at a bank and her income started to increase. He stayed where he was, right? The income wasn't the issue. The issue was because she was going to the bank, she started to go to better restaurants. She started to go to events. She started to go to places where you needed a tie and a dress shirt, which is not what they were accustomed to when they both were on the same level. So she couldn't go to an all-you-can-eat buffet for their anniversary anymore. She wanted $100 lobster, right? And $100 steak. Because, and I think that's where people confuse it, is that when women earn a lot more money, certain doors open up to them, which are usually available to the men, right? The men will take you to the fancy restaurant, but you're going to feel a certain type of way if the woman takes you to the fancy restaurant, especially if you don't have the attire to go there, right? Because you want to match your woman's energy.